Welcome back. Today, I have a couple of interesting questions that are on my mind that I'm curious about how other people feel about this. And that is the first question is, do you, if you're a collector, do you, of slot cars, do you like to go after cars that are in the packaging, vintage cars, older cars that are still in their original packaging? Do you purchase them if you're going to take them out of the packaging and run them around your track? Now, I know there's people that like to, collect die-cast cars and slot cars. Slot cars to me are things that should be moved on the track. That's how to differentiate a slot car from a die-cast car, is that it moves, and that's what I love to do with them. And I fully respect die-cast collectors or slot car collectors that like to keep them in their packaging. But sometimes there's you know there's some cars that you can't find that are already loose, and you see them in packaging. I'm curious, do people go after them and remove them from the packaging, or do they save them and keep them for collectors who like to keep them in that pristine condition? Now, I respect both sides, but for me, I just don't go after those. I felt so guilty. This is my one instance where I just had to. I was a big Neil Bonnet fan growing up. I loved NASCAR. Neil Bonnet was my favorite driver, and Tyco did this car representing him when he was in the 75. And I just had to have it. I looked around and I couldn't find one that was loose. And I regretted getting it. I'm sure that you could probably find one somewhere, but I just couldn't at the time. And so I did. I purchased it. It was still in its original packaging. And I did it, and I felt guilty, but what can you do? It's like, that's my only instance, and I'll probably never do it again. Maybe I will, but for Bonnet, I was like, okay, I have to do this. So just curious on what your thoughts are. And also, do you purchase custom made cars from other people, something that others made? Now, I understand a lot of people make their own customs, and that's great, and sometimes they like to sell them. I usually don't like to collect custom cars because, to me, it's more of a, I don't know what it is, when there's something that's been mass produced in the past and you just have to have it. It's one of those things that you always saw on commercials or something. But this is another one. It's my only exception to buying a custom car. Again, it goes back to the Bonnet era of NASCAR, which actually this is probably when David Pearson was driving it. But Bonnet, was my driver in the 21, the Purolator Mercury. And so somebody made a beautiful custom version of this car. Again, it's probably not the Bonnet car, but it was close enough that, the Bonnet car had that stripe in the middle on the it had a long stripe going from the windshield to the front. So this is close, and it's beautifully done, and that's my only acquisition of a custom car. So I'm just curious on what your thoughts are. Just drop me a line in the comments below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.